Hello everyone, this is ACHAI Akai, and this is a 1v1 on iCup remake map, Sungsu Crossing. And this is, yeah, I'm actually at a LAN party right now, StarCraft 2 LAN party, and I got knocked out of a 2v2 tournament because I'm bad. So I'm spectating a fantastic 1v1 between BrokenRythm and DCRodrigo. Broken going to be playing as the Terran, and DCRodrigo going to be playing as the Protoss. I apologize if you can hear the obscenities in the background because they are still continuing with that 2v2 tournament where I'm at right now. So the microphone is probably picking some of that up in the background. I'll try to make sure that I limit as many of those outbursts as possible. But anyway, we are going to start looking at the red Terran base right now. This is BrokenRythm here playing on the left side. On the right side, we do have DCRodrigo playing as the Protoss, and he is asking Broken how good is his Terran. If you have not seen many of Broken's games before, he is actually a Protoss player and trying to learn Terran, and apparently he beat Hakari with it, which I don't know who Hakari is personally, and neither does DCRodrigo. But anyways, these guys are going to be facing off. This looks like it is, I've never played this map particularly myself, but it looks like it is built as a two-player map, so they are not going to have to do a whole lot of scouting to find out where the other one is spawning before they want to get some intel on what tech they're going for. But it looks like Broken going to be putting down his first supply depot at 10 inside his base, so pretty standard play between the two. And Broken claiming that Shox has beat Elisa. That is pretty funny because Elise is actually quite good. But a lot of chatter between these guys. This is obviously a friendly game, not getting too serious about it right now. But who got beat by Hydra? Oh man, I don't even want to know what all is going on in this conversation right now because it's getting a little messy. But DCRodrigo putting down his first gateway in his base, so not going to go for any kind of cheesy build. Anyway, just real quick before the action gets going, let's take a look at the map right now. As you can see, there is a natural base just outside the map from their main, which allows them to get some extra resources relatively quickly. A little bit further over, you'll find another expansion, of course a little bit more disconnected from the natural expansion right now. And then a little bit further down, there is a high yield base that does have destructible rocks at it, and of course this map is mirrored. And then in the top left and bottom right, there is a couple of bases right now. Yeah, it looks like they are island maps. And apparently Elisa, not sure exactly what's going on. There's a balcony down here, I guess, that he thinks is made for siege tanks. Anyways, going back to the base of BrokenRythm, he is getting a Tech Lab add-on for his first barracks here, so possibly going to be seeing some early Reapers here. I know that he does like the Reaper play. Been playing around with Terran for a little bit now, and he favors the Reaper play very much. Although, of course, Marauder's very powerful against the early Protoss army. Anything that comes out of Gateway does not do very well against the Marauder, especially once they get that concussive shell upgrade. And looking at DCRodrigo's base, we do see that there is indeed a cybernetics core going down as well. So going to be going for some pretty fast tech here, and getting out that sentry against an early push using Marauders and Marines is extremely important, although as we can see he is building Reapers now, so he is going to go for that Reaper play, and he has not yet started upgrading the Nitro packs, so he is going to have to be pretty careful with how he micros this, because without that speed upgrade, sometimes it can be difficult to actually take on Zealots without the speed upgrade. But anyways, it looks like he is going to be putting down a second barracks right now. And meanwhile, there is a robo facility going down for DCRodrigo. So both players, actually it looks like from Broken we are seeing a pretty heavy early pressure with that Reaper push. And then DCRodrigo going the exact opposite track here, going to be trying to go a little bit more tech heavy and get out some very early tech units. And he is chrono boosting his warp gates, which is extremely important to get out early so that you can continue to macro up if you're going to be playing with any semblance of a gateway army. And it looks like the first Reaper from Broken is inside the base of DCRodrigo, already has 4 kills, and he is going to micro around here, try to get some more kills. There is one Stalker just now coming out, and he should have no problems cleaning this Reaper up. Oh my goodness, the Reaper getting away with 4 HP. Is he going to be able to hold on to this Reaper? That would be insane. And no, he does not. But as you can see here, this is what Elisa was mentioning. This little balcony here, there's a ramp that takes you up into the main. But you can get up in this balcony. You can get a sensor tower down here. You can put siege tanks down here. Or, as you saw, you can get a Reaper up there. It allows you to jump up onto that cliff and get into the main. That is the only place where you can do that, because as you can see, the rest of this wall here is a double high wall. And the Reapers can only jump up 1 level at a time, so they are not able to jump up over here anywhere. They have to go up either on this little pedestal platform here, or they have to go all the way around through the front entrance where the main ramp is. And DCRodrigo, apparently not really playing this map before, thinks that it is an interesting map, and Broken agreeing with him. So anyways, we are looking at another gateway going down here and a robo bay. So going to be seeing some fast Colossi tech from DCRodrigo here, and that is actually very, very strong against the infantry. I'm sorry, I'm not sure exactly what just happened here. I had some people doing some weird things. Anyways, moving back into the game, it looks like there is a ton of SCVs on this mineral line along with some mules from BrokenRythm. So he has a very, very strong economy. And looking at the income tab, we can see right now that he does have a slight lead around 100 minerals, actually just jumping up there a little bit now with that mule coming back. So a couple hundred minerals extra lead. And as far as the harvesters go, you can see that he does have 3 harvesters more than DCRodrigo, and he also does have the capability of those mules, which return a lot more minerals than a standard worker unit. So definitely has a little bit stronger economy than his Protoss opponent. If we look at the production menu right now, we can see that there is a lot of units being produced from the Terran army, and only 1 Colossus currently coming out, although that's not too atypical because there are warp gates now, so the units warping in have a very, very short duration on this production menu while they're coming in, because it's basically 5 seconds to bring a unit in. But I would like to point out too, while DCRodrigo tries to clean up this Reaper, oh my goodness, I'm sorry, hold that thought, there are 4 more Reapers coming into the front, going to take out the pylon that is powering his, oh no, he does not get it. It has 1 hit left on only 17 HP left on this powering list, and he is going to get that first Colossus out. Well, maybe not. They are coming back in a scan so he can hit it from the low ground. Great, great play by BrokenRythm, managing to get out that pylon and delay that Colossus by a little bit. And as you can hear here, the peanut gallery is applauding that move by BrokenRythm. So great play by BrokenRythm, very, very aware in using those Reapers and their mobility to their fullest potential. But anyways, what I was going to say is that one of the updates in the last patch that we saw here, as you can see on the production menu, now we actually have a nice little progress bar underneath every unit or research that is being up here on the production menu, so we can actually keep track of how far they have been produced. Oh, and here comes the Colossus doing a ton of damage to those Reapers. The Reapers are going to have to retreat, and every one of them is in the orange, yellow, or red, so that a very weak Reaper army at this point. And it looks like DCRodrigo going to use this opportunity to push out, and Elisa says Colossus are the ultimate Reaper counter. And that is actually very, very true, because Reapers do bad against Colossus, although you can obviously get Reapers a lot quicker than you can get Colossus. But it looks like these Reapers are going to try to counter here. There are 2 Stalkers defending the mineral line, though, so he is going to have to back out once again, although I'm not sure why he's not trying to pick off some of these pylons. But it looks like DCRodrigo does have an observer over the front entrance of BrokenRythm's base, going to push in here with a small army consisting of 1 Colossus, 1 Sentry, and then a few Stalkers and Zealots, and that is going to be enough to break down that front entrance and force BrokenRythm to lift off and go back to his main. Meanwhile, looking back at the base of DCRodrigo, he does not yet have an expansion up at his natural or anywhere else on the base, so forcing BrokenRythm to leave that expansion was absolutely crucial for not letting his opponent get an economic advantage on him. Going back to BrokenRythm's base, though, he does have a starport up and running. A medevac is building right now. No add-ons yet, no reactor, no tech lab, but he is continuing to produce siege tanks out of his factory. Meanwhile, DCRodrigo using this containment opportunity in order to get his own expansion up and running, and the siege tanks taking a lot of damage before they get into siege mode, and it looks like all of the workers in the front here are going to go down, and that 1 siege tank still remaining. Here comes a couple more Marines trying to help clean this up. I'm not sure why DC is backing out, because, oh, I'm sorry, there are a couple tanks up in the high ledge. I did not see that. I was wondering, because that 1 tank was definitely not enough, even with the help of those 2 Marines, to take on those Stalkers and that Colossus.
You said it, Todd.
But anyways, I'm not sure if you can hear that. The guys over here are incredibly silly. They're apparently in between games for the finals right now, so a lot of people hanging out, chilling, you know, relaxing, playing some SC2 LAN party. But anyways, a couple more gateways coming out right now for DCRodrigo, also getting that Twilight Council, so possibly we are going to see some Templar tech, or perhaps he's just getting it so he can research Blink Stalkers, which Blink Stalkers can be great for blinking up on a ledge and taking out some of these tanks that are in those tough to reach spots, which will allow him to basically break that entrance a lot quicker if he can. And one way to combat that as a Terran player is to get out that Raven, although we do not see a tech lab on the starport yet, so apparently not going to see a Raven putting down that point defense drone, which would help defend against those Stalkers getting up there and really taking out those tanks. But there is a dropship containing 2 tanks coming out from BrokenRythm right now, apparently going over to the Protoss base, going to try to do some harassment here so that he can get a little bit of an edge here, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do a whole heck of a lot of damage. Doesn't seem like there's many good places for him to drop those siege tanks that wouldn't just absolutely get run